Hello?
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?
See, I'm not hearing anything. Give me a second.
Oh.
I'm hearing something now.
Hello?
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah, for some reason it was trying to use the mic as the speaker, so we got to
Oh,
work it out.
okay. I'm sorry. It's kind of loud on my phone. All right. So I know you wanted me to walk you through a couple things. Do you have a specific request before I just kind of show you around?
That now.
Is the background noise too bad?
Yeah, the audio is real bad. I can't understand you, Hannah.
Okay, hold on. Give me just a moment.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. Just give me a moment. I'm going to just jump out to my car.
Okay.
He said the crew was putting it in the northeast, so the intel is perfect. It looks like a shot collar here is a guy named Kevin Velez, and underneath him is a really good party friend, Arturo Luna, and a guy named Cody Montegal. Let's get eyes on him right away. Just surveil him.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay.
Let's try that.
I was at Starbucks and all of a sudden they're like, let's put the blender on as soon as we get on this meeting. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, so that was not going to work out. Okay. What questions do you have? I can just kind of like literally show you around. Were you able to log into the portals and register your usernames and everything? I mean, where are you at with everything right now?
Okay, I haven't done anything with the email that you sent, so I can start working on that. Hold on just a second. Let me turn off those settings. So we've got the carrier logins for Ameritas and Nat Gen. I mean, let's see.
If you've never logged in, it's going to require you to register. So that
Okay.
could take a few moments.
Okay, so we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Register. And then through that, that's where I can actually go do applications and where I can go do quotes and things like that.
Correct. So you would be able to understand, I mean, how far along on the modules are you in Thinkific?
I mean, I've done most. I think I got all the way up to the one where I had to log in and do the quotes on Nat Gen. So, and it's not that complicated from what I'm not expecting it to be too super complicated for me to figure out how to do quotes. So,
no, it's not. Do you want me to just kind of run through how I quote real quick? Would that help?
That would be great.
Okay. So give me just a second. Let me screen share with you.
Okay.
Okay, screen share. Tell me if you can see.
It's doing something. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so real quick, just let me kind of show you a couple things. This is where I have all my, if you can see right under my browser tabs, my bookmarks. Yep. I have my HST email, my Outlook, my Keep, and Line Disc, which are my CRMs. And then my Lead Master, my Nat Gen quote bookmark, my United Healthcare, Philly, Ameritas, and TopBroker. All of that's right there, one click. So when I click on Nat Gen, it's like one click. My stuff is saved. One click, I'm logged in.
Good. Okay. That's safe.
So for the sake of quoting, I'm going to quote myself and you can kind of see how it goes. I would recommend you quoting you and your family as a practical example because it'll help you think of it from a different perspective and ask yourself, would I want these benefits? What kind of benefits do I want? What coverage levels would I be comfortable with? And it will really help you kind of comprehensively understand from a different perspective. So first thing it asks for is always zip code.
Okay.
I am in Maricopa County. Sometimes the zip code has multiple counties it will ask you to identify, so it's always a good question to ask.
Sure.
Here on the tobacco usage, if they are a tobacco user, they're going to require you to put in a date, and basically they want to know what the last date that the person smoked, and it always requires the previous day. Okay, so you're going to put that date in there. I am not a tobacco user, so we're going to remove that. It does automatically populate for can you see my mouse for some reason is not showing up? I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But applicant, spouse, and dependent 1, dependent 2. Sometimes there's more dependents. You can click this add more dependent button. And if you have more than 4 dependents, we're gonna have to talk about it. So if you run into that, let me know and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay.
Got it.
Start coverage on. We always do next day coverage. Okay. These are simplified issue, which means you will have coverage as of next day if they can get through the underwriting questions that we ask on the application, and I'll show you what those are, okay? United Healthcare has about 25 questions versus the 5 that Nat Gen has, and it does take about 5 days to approve depending on, short-term, our simplified issue, next day policies, but any of the indemnity plans or accident plans do full underwriting and it takes a little bit longer. So
Got it.
A little bit of a difference between carriers.
Okay.
In Arizona, the system recognizes where you're quoting. So some states only allow 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, etc. The system knows. Here in my state, I can do up to 2 12-month terms or a 12-month term with a renewable option. Okay. One thing to note is that if you're doing a guaranteed issue, which means the person is overweight or has health issues that they can't answer no to the questions, you want to do a 12-month renewable. And here you'll have renewal, no renewals where you'll have your guaranteed issue. But when we do one renewal or one with fixed premium, it changes the premium amounts. And I just want you to play with that a little bit when you get in there to kind of give yourself a perspective. So for the sake of us doing this quoting example, I'm going to do two 12-month terms. You can pay single payment or monthly payment. It's just like car insurance. Do you want to pay the whole policy up front or do you want to do monthly? Okay.
Okay.
So now that we have all these parameters set, we're going to show plans. The system will always bundle an option for you, just kind of a standard. Let's see if it's doing it. I could be wrong here. No, it didn't this time. Okay. If it does, you're going to see the plan bundle an option in the top. Let's see if I can go back and show you because I want you to because you're going to get caught up on it. Let's do. Why is it doing this? Let's refresh. Oh, it's still scrolling. Hold on one second.
No worries.
Not now. Don't do this to me now.
There it goes.
Okay, snap. Okay, we'll just get back to that screen.
Okay.
Let me put my phone on the dash. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so we're going to just do coverage as of tomorrow. I'm female, my birthday. And we're going to do, so let's just do 11 months to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The system will bundle, most likely bundle. I wonder if they took that out. Thank God they took that out. Okay. Let me show you the difference real quick.
Okay.
You're going to see the tabs here on the left. You see short-term, dental, fixed indemnity, Medicare supplement. These are the plans available in your state. Like I said, the quoting portal knows which plans are available when you're quoting certain zip codes, so don't worry about that. But down here, we're going to look at the short-term options. Okay. When you do your modules, you'll understand the difference between the plans. So I really recommend you getting through those modules.
Right.
The enhanced PPO is kind of the budget option. Essentials PPO is good. Guaranteed
And
issue is what I was talking to you about here. If we do a guaranteed issue PPO, you can see the premiums are a little bit higher. For a 5,000 90/10, it's $250 a month versus a 5,000 100% is $150. The 5,000 100% coinsurance is definitely better coverage, but if it's a guaranteed issue, that's a higher risk for the carrier, so they're going to charge more, obviously.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Going back real quick, I'm going to show you the plans you're going to be quoting the most. And I'm just going to do this again because I don't want to wait.
Understand.
How did everything go with the vet? Everything good?
Got lots of towel threads in her intestines. They had to cut out. It was pulling on organs, and it was good. We got her in when we did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how scary. Okay,
It
so
was, yeah.
what I did this time was 2 12-month terms, which is the max we can write in Arizona. Show plans.
Okay.
Same type of platform. It's going to show you the short-term plans, dental plans, fixed indemnity, etc. The ones that I recommend you selling this year are the copay enhanced plans. And when you get through the modules, you'll understand why. They have a lot more benefits available. You have copays for doctor visits, which the short-term plans in general do not have doctor visits included. They're subject to co-insurance and deductible. Okay, so if you want to sell a really rounded, just short-term plan, they don't have a lot of money, they want to have coverage, this is a really good plan. The copay enhanced, they have $6,000 and $8,000 deductibles, but also 100% coinsurance. And why this is a good thing is because the copay really kicks, or I'm sorry, the deductible really kicks in when a serious event happens. Like you end up in a car accident, you have to go into the hospital. This is really for major services. You have a really good urgent care benefit on here with the $50 copay, and anything that happens at the urgent care visit is subject to coinsurance, but at 100% coinsurance, it's all covered.
That's great. Yeah.
So your really serious issues are going to be deductible, and then your not so serious issues would be urgent care at 100% with a $50 copay. And then if you do need doctor visits, your primary is $40 copay, special is $60. You are limited.
And you only get like one every 6 months, right?
You're limited to how many you can use. Other than that, it's subject to coinsurance deductible. You know, paying out of pocket's really not that bad because you have a in-network discount already calculated.
Makes sense.
This does include a prescription benefit. So if you look at the RX, there's a copay and generic and everything like that.
Okay.
Go through the modules. You'll understand a lot more about these plans. It's super easy. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pick the copay 8,100%, and we're going to add it. Going back to the top, let's just say this is for me. I want a fixed indemnity plan because I think I'm going to need to see a doctor more than once. As I said, you have the explanations on what the plans cover when you do the modules, but Foundation Health includes a set amount of benefits. It just changes how much the plan will pay. So you have 4 additional office visits at level A. The office visit benefit is $50 per visit. If you go down to C, or same number of visits, but it pays $90. Okay.
Right.
This helps with your deductible. So if you have a $8,000 deductible, you're immediately going to have to pay $8,000. But let's just say you have Foundation Health Level C, it's going to pay $3,000 a day to assist with that $8,000 out-of-pocket responsibility you have if you're hospitalized.
Makes sense.
You're going to understand more.
So you're layering the plans on top of each other to get the best coverage possible.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's just add this Level C real quick. And a dental real quick just to have some kind of coverage.
Yeah.
These dental plans are not great compared to Ameritas. If you want to just quickly add something and not spend the extra 10 minutes going through the process of collecting the information, explaining another plan, if the client just wants to have something in place and they don't think they're going to need it, they want their cleaning, it's fine to have this. They have 6-month wait period on basic services for Nat Gen dental and also a year wait for major services. Ameritas, however, has no waiting periods for anything. It just means the benefits go up if you do wait 6 or 12 months, that you have a higher benefit amount. So if somebody needs a crown right away, do not give them a Nat Gen dental. You need to give them an Ameritas dental because they'll have an immediate 15% coverage. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pick a Dental Plus. Just, it's going to give you first year 50% coverage. If you see it, basic services, first year, you got 50% coverage. Major services, first year, you have, let's look at the brochure. I think they changed these. And you can.
The brochures are also built into the quote, so you can look
Oh
at
yeah,
stuff that way.
see a brochure. It's all the links are right here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really user friendly. So dental indemnity. I would recommend you making files, which is also one of the assignments. You have all these, you know, kind of at your fingertips right here. So basic services fillings, the basic plan will pay $75 per filling. If you have intermediate, it's $150 plus 2 is $150. So this is similar to like the Foundation Health. It pays an X amount of dollar per visit or per event towards the, you know, whole total amount that you have. Right. Annual maximum benefits is what you need to look at though, because it's really easy to max out $500 if you need 2 or 3 fillings, you know what I mean? So
makes sense.
Yeah, I would really not sell these unless you really need to just add something real quickly. I would highly recommend giving your client a better option. So let's just say I'm happy with these 2 options. We're just going to stick with the medical today. I have a National General Short-Term Association Day. I'm looking at the right-hand side here. $8,000 deductible, 100% coinsurance, $210 a month. Adding the Foundation Health, it's $146.48. Now, if I'm just quoting, I'm going to click Create Proposal.
Okay.
I'm going to view proposal.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yep. I do not email them this proposal because what it does is gives them a cart option and then they're confused and it really doesn't turn out well.
Okay. Okay.
Here's how I do it. Okay. I don't know if you have a like snip tool. Can you see this little snip tool that I have?
Yeah, I know how to do it all the time. Use it all the time.
I use this every day. So basically what I do is I just literally cut out this image, file save as.
Got it.
To my client folder. And you can see I've literally got a folder for every single client I've ever quoted here. Because if I need to go back and refer to what I quoted them previously, I'll have all that information right there and it'll be easy for me to say, you know, we talked about this quote. It's really about having the information at your call because you're going to be getting calls from clients that you haven't talked to in 3 weeks and you're going to be like, oh crap, where did I send that quote to? How am I going to find it? And you just go back to your file. So we're just going to save this Hannah test, Nat Gen. What did I do? I didn't push enter. Hold on. New folder, Hannah test. Enter. Oh, okay. There we go. So what I do is I label it. So like this would be Nat Gen short-term and indemnity. And I create some kind of metric in my mind that I know how the quote is built so I can refer. If I were to include a dental, I would do that. Short-term indemnity dental.
You're just using those initials to basically identify what that plan quote was so that you can look if you have different ones without dental or without the indemnity plan or a different level plan. That makes sense.
Yeah. So figure out a way you can figure it out in your own mind because it's really just for you to keep track. So now I have this image. I'm going to go to my I'm going to send an email, right? So we're going to just I'm going to get out of this portal. We're going to go to Outlook. And I'm going to just draft an email. And I'm going to send you these templates. I'm going to probably edit them. Where's my email? Hold on a sec. Let's try this again. Oh, it's right there. Okay. New message. So Hannah test at whatever. And here's how I do this. When it comes down to the subject, I do health insurance quote, and then I write the name. So David Jesse would be the client, for example, health insurance quote. So when they see the subject, it's an official thing, and it kind of gives them an idea of what's going on. So we're going to go back here real quick and go to Google Docs because I have templates that I've created.
Nice.
And it's easy, so I don't have to write the whole email every single time. And what I've done is so we have our Aetna Nationwide Open PPO, and I just select and copy all, and I'm going to paste it in here. So here we go. And because I'm quoting myself, I'll just no, this will be for you. I don't know. I'm confusing
Right.
you here. Okay, so
It's
this
fine.
one's for you, David.
I'm tracking with
Your
you.
quote. So
Yep.
David, it was nice chatting with you yesterday. As promised, here's a really great health quote through the Edna Open PPO network. And
So you're not calling that Nat Gen. You're letting them know about the network because that's what they're familiar with and what they'd be using, right?
Yeah, because they don't care about Nat Gen when they,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
they do, but they don't. It's really more important for them to know that it's an Aetna network. So
Yep.
here, what I'm going to do, if I can get this to work, okay, right click and copy.
Got
And
it.
I'm literally just going to paste it right in here
Oh, okay.
as an image. So they have not just text, but also an image, and it's
Right,
user friendly. And then when they reply to this email, you're getting it in your inbox and not to the quoting portal, and you're never going to see their email. Do you know what I mean? That's why I don't recommend you send a quote through the email.
I like that. That's good.
I structured the benefits a few different ways to see how we could get you the most coverage, the best premium, blah, 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 blah. So what we've got here is $336.92. And because it's in green, it's really easy for me to know that I have to edit
change
that.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And since there's no dental, we're not going to have dental, period.
Got it.
Nat Gen's Aetna network is one of the most widely accepted open PPO networks in the nation, blah, blah, blah. 4 ways to see the doctor, $50 copays for urgent care. I kind of go through the bullet points of the information here. It's 100% coinsurance. It's an $8,000 deductible. And you just change a couple things and it's 8,000 max, okay?
Right.
And you just change because you're going to quote differently based on the different kind of quotes. So this $10,000 cash indemnity benefit is for the AME CHS, which is accident, medical expense, cancer, heart attack, stroke. We didn't do that. Let's talk about that real quick because it's important.
Supplemental policies that that you're layering on top of it.
I didn't quote that. So what I'll do is I'll just completely erase it because it's not part of this quote. Just like I didn't do a dental, I'm going to take this out. And it's more important for you to know that sometimes you got to take things out.
Sure.
The 24/7 telemedicine comes with the association, which is not included in this quote either. So we're going to cancel this. This is also vision. Dental is through the association. Dental is through its own coverage. So we're going to take out this information.
Do you normally do the dental or the association?
It's only $20 more. It's really not worth it, to be honest with you. It's just a kind of a, it's there. It's really not worth it. Nobody ever uses it. It's kind of like one of those added benefit things that are kind of, I don't want to say junk filler, but it's kind of a junk filler. You have much better vision and dental through Ameritas, and honestly, I don't want to confuse them. It's going to be more complicated to explain how the whole thing works, and it's really kind of ambiguous. It's really not, the best use of your time. Okay. So here we are, open PPO network, 4 ways to see the doctor, $50 copay for urgent care visits, $8,000 deductible, 100% coinsurance, $8,000 out-of-pocket max, multiple office visits, daily hospital confinement benefit, surgical benefit, ambulance transport benefit, lab x-ray diagnostics covered. Okay, so they have a really good idea of what the plan covers. It gives them questions to ask you. This is really going to prompt questions because this is just your first quote email. You're gonna set a time to speak to them again, answer the questions, and do the application. So this is really just to prompt a conversation. I've attached the plan brochures for you to look over. So what we'll do is browse this computer. We'll go to desktop, HST, Compass Health, and brochures. So we have Nat Gen. So with this one, I have the short term and the foundation health. And we're going to attach those as a copy, okay? Also, I have click here, and what this does is it takes them to the doctor search page.
That's good.
Click here to select a doctor. Click here to select a doctor in the network, okay?
That's good.
And if it would ever populate, it'll give them an option to put in their zip code and all this stuff. So here's what happens next, and it's really good to make sure that you let them know that because you are a initial field underwriter, you're interviewing them for the insurance company. You're not a salesman. You're a salesman, but you're really more of a field underwriter, helping the insurance company make sure that we're writing the right type of people that need these benefits. Okay.
Got it.
So it finally populated. Here, it kind of gives you an example. Continue as guest. 85382, Peoria, Arizona. Search, and it'll kind of give you. Depending on open choice PPO. Okay, so we have open choice PPO continue. So here we have all the type of doctors. What category do you need? Do you need medical, hospitals, urgent care, walk-in clinics, pharmacy, behavioral health? It has all the different types of providers, so you can look up an actual provider. So let's look at urgent care. Probably going to have a lot. Banner Health, I know, is going to show up. But it's really user-friendly. I mean,
it seems like it. Seems like it's really basic.
Yeah, there's a ton of options here. Okay, and these are all in the network,
Yeah.
Okay. So once we, basically you've provided them with enough to keep them busy for a hot minute. They're going to have the brochures. They're going to have the network doctor search link. And then you say, here's what happens next. The reason we can offer so many benefits for the affordable premiums, you must medically qualify for this plan. Takes about 15 minutes and you to be in front of a computer to complete the health questions on your application. I look forward to going over this plan and answering your questions during our health insurance consultation call, which is what you're going to schedule with them the next time you talk. You want to make this as official as possible, but not too serious. You know what I mean? Don't overwhelm them with it being like, we might deny you, but at the same time, let them know that they can't. Sure. It's not just, they're not in control, basically. You're kind of facilitating the experience. Your consult call is scheduled for, and this is going to be something you guys discuss while you're doing the quote, collecting the quote information. You say, when's a good time to chat again? I'm going to send you the quote with all the information, but we really do need to go over it. It's going to take about 10 minutes or so because I want to make sure you understand it. We'll complete your application and see if we can get you qualified. Because it's in blue, it's easy to edit. So let's just do Wednesday. October 30th at 11 a.m. Please confirm your calendar invite for this consultation call, and I'll explain that in a second.
Okay.
To your best health, whatever. I'm going to send this to you so you have the template.
Got it.
David Jesse HST. Okay. So this is just kind of a template for you to get you started. I'm going to, you'll have all this information in the modules, but get through the training first. Okay.
Right.
So send. Now, what I do next is really interesting, and I want you to, this is why I recommended you getting a Gmail account, because there's a lot of plugins that you can use with Gmail. Let me make sure this is pulling up the right one. So, okay. When you go to your calendar, go to the effing gym with Nini, my daughter. She wants me to go to the gym with her every day. Sorry about that. Okay, so tomorrow at 11, we have a health quote consultation, David Jesse. And here's what I do. More options. By phone, I call you.
Okay.
Yes, here's where you can kind of ping them and add more, buy more brain cells and, have a more interactive experience with them. When you add guests,
right.
When we save this, it's going to send you an invitation to your Gmail calendar.
Right.
So when I do quote consults, I do always color code my calendar so I know what's what. I do about a 30-minute time block. I usually keep just the basic information here.
Okay.
In case I need to reference it, or while we're doing the consultation, I need to rework.
You've got it right there.
So I have it right there. And the most important thing to keep here is the phone number.
Got it.
Because you can work off your calendar and not have like tons of papers everywhere. You can actually log into your Google Calendar from another location and have everything you need right there.
That's good.
Just keep in mind when you invite them to the calendar event, they can see every note that you put in here. So that's why
So don't put a nasty note on there.
Yeah, just be careful. Like if you have private notes in there or something you don't want them to see, I would write that down.
Yeah.
So when I save this, would you like to send the invitation emails to Google Calendar events guests? Sorry. So what it'll do is it'll pop up on their calendar, whether they accept it or not. It'll just be like whited out. It'll be there, but it will be accepted, and also send them an email. So you're reminding them two different ways that
the quote's happening, that consultation's taking place.
So here we have it on my end. If you look at your Gmail and go to your little box over here and click your calendar, it's going to show you your calendar event without you accepting it. So if you want to just check that real quick. So at this point, you have the quote information, the template, and how to do the Google Calendar for Nat Gen. It's really that easy.
Yeah, that's good.
Super easy. Don't ever, let me do this. Let me show you one more thing. Don't ever email them the quote. You always want to kind of screen snip the whole thing and have control, because people are going to reply to your emails.
Right. And so if it goes through the quote, then they reply and you've got to like go through some other way to find it or whatever.
Yeah. So you'll have to go through and like look at your contacts and find the communication. And it's really, really convoluted and really not conducive to business. Let me show you how easy Ameritas is. Okay. Ameritas Dental Vision. This is so easy to sell. Basically, you say, I have the best plans available. I'm a broker, so I can really shop for you. The best dental vision we have is Ameritas. It takes only 5 additional minutes, but it's 100% worth your time. You really don't even really need to do this with the client over the phone. If you guys decide what plans they're going to sign up for when you are doing their Nat Gen application, actually, let's stick with. Let me show you this real quick, but I want to go back and say, if you decided to go with the plan, let's show you how to enroll. So when you do this, it's super easy. Start coverage the next day. So you zip code, they need dental. It's just the applicant. Coverage starts the next day. It'll show you the plans are available.
Makes sense.
The difference really is just the Network 1000 is a 1,000 annual benefit. The Network 2000 is a 2,000 annual benefit. And you can notice with the Nat Gen plans, they had like a $500 limit.
Right.
It's very low. If we go to purchase, let's just say we're going to do 2,000, you view the details. Immediate, no waiting periods, no enrollment fees, orthodontics included under 19. You have 100% coverage for preventative. Immediate, you have 80% coverage for basic. Immediate, you have up to 50% coverage for major, okay? If we have basic services, fillings, day one, in-network plan pays 65%. Let's see, after year one, it pays 80%. After year two, it pays 80%. Major services, day one, plan pays 20%. After the first year, they pay 50%, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see why it makes sense to have these plans and, you have no waiting periods for anything. Most of the dental plans on Nat Gen don't even cover major services, and when they do, it's after a year of having the policy. So it really doesn't make sense to send them.
Right.
Orthodontics, excuse me, pays $1,000, which is about 20% off of, the whole procedure. It's about $5,000 in general for having braces and everything like that. But immediately, you're going to have a 15% discount on the procedure right off the bat. After the first year, you're going to have a 50% coverage discount. So it's beneficial to have this plan if they have kids that need orthodontics. This does not cover adult orthodontics, only for 19 and under, okay? And if they're going to do orthodontics, I would recommend giving them the higher annual benefit amount because they're going to be eating it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's easy. So you see we're
And how much was that? $36?
$36. And
That's
literally,
nothing.
if they need a dental and they need services, they can buy it today and go get a crown tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
we're going to
that's
purchase.
awesome.
Even if you choose vision, it'll always ask you if they want to add on dental. If you choose dental, it'll always ask you if you want to add on vision. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to choose both, in the very beginning. So
you quote the first one and then move to the second?
Yeah, it'll always try to add on the other. So if they don't want vision, you just check out now, but let's view vision options. Adding vision is $10 more. Okay, I would really recommend you adding the VSP Choice Network. Again, with the dental, there's 2 different annual benefit amounts. That's really all that changes. With the vision, it's a little bit different. You have 2 different networks to choose from. I 100% always recommend VSP. iMed is okay. The difference here is it'll pay $130 for frames and lenses every 24 months, which is every 2 years on this iMed Access on the top. Don't give them that unless they seriously can't pay $6 more. But VSP Choice Network, gives them $150 every 12 months. So they can get a higher annual benefit amount once a year, or a lower annual benefit amount once every 2 years for the IMED. Do you see? So we always want to add the higher vision. It makes 100% more sense to add the higher vision. Honestly, don't even really give them an option if you can just say, unless they really pitch a fit and they can't afford $6 more. So it's super easy right now with a really good dental with no waiting periods and the best vision we have. Just for myself, it's only $52 for vision dental. You put in their name, address, zip code, date of birth, gender, marital status, email, and phone number. You continue, you put in the payment information, you click submit, and it's done. It's that simple.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, so this is really, you're not gonna need help with this. This is just super easy.
No, it's very simple, yeah.
Yeah, effective date as of November 1st.
Right.
Okay, and that's the system produced that. We can edit that and make it the next day. So going back to Nat Gen, let's just go back and pretend like I'm gonna want to enroll to show you how easy it is. We're gonna do coverage starting tomorrow. We're gonna do 2 12-month terms, show plans, go back and choose the same exact plans we had, which are the copay enhanced 8,100% coinsurance, and we're gonna do the fixed indemnity level C. Okay, 386. And instead of clicking create proposal, we're going to click enroll now. Okay, so here's the most important thing when you're actually enrolling somebody. Don't mess up the email address, because I have. It really screws everything up, because you're going to go through the whole application process. And once you click submit on the application, the reason the client needs to be in front of the computer is because they actually need to open their email, which the system automatically sends them this application, requires them to log in, create a password, review their information, and they take responsibility for the application and acknowledge that everything's correct, and they actually submit the application. Now, if you mistype the email address, they're never going to get that email. And then you're going to have to go back and edit the whole thing. Sometimes I just, when I was really new, I just blamed the system and had to go back through the whole thing. You know what I mean? But, so what we're going to do is I'm going to hopefully not mess myself up in the system, but we're going to just add the email address, okay?
Okay.
And then it will ask for, and so I say, Mr. Jesse, here's what happens next. We're gonna go ahead and complete the application. The first thing we do is build the policy documents. We're gonna need your personal information, your address, make sure that we have the right, right location to send your ID cards to. How is your legal name spelled so we can produce your ID card? And then you just ask for their full name. I believe the social is, let's see, I believe it's required at this point, and you say, so, how do you spell your legal name? Verify that your birthday is 5/17/83, female gender. What is your social? When you do a downswing and you don't say,
I ask for socials 15 times a day at work, so I'm very familiar.
Okay, cool. Some of my agents are like, oh my gosh, I have to ask for that.
I know.
You better get over it now. Just get over it now, okay? And then street address, phone number. If it says optional, don't worry about it. Just unless they, you need to add the information, it just takes more time. It's important to ask mailing address the same as your home address, because they might get mail somewhere else, which is where they're going to receive their ID cards. They need to know that so you don't get lost in the translation. And also, is your billing address the same as your home address? Are you going to use a card that has the same zip code as your, because if not, then you're going to have to put in a whole new address, because then when you try to run the card, it won't work.
Makes sense.
Okay, easy. U.S. citizen. I'm just going to put this information because it won't let me proceed. I want to show you.
Okay.
And let's just hope that, okay. Yes. English, it's U.S. citizen, continue, okay. Okay, so policy documents happens first. Then, Mr. Client, here's what happens next. They're going to be asking us some health questions. Basically, you have to read this to them word for word. And I know that sounds silly, but you just kind of prepare them, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them, right?
Right.
Okay. Basically, you just say, I have to read a plan confirmation to you. You're going to agree at the end, but let me go ahead and do it. So I just start reading. I'm purchasing a standard issue short-term medical plan with guaranteed eligibility for subsequent and you just read it. Make it, understandable, but at the same time, you don't have to go into too much detail with them. Just make sure that you know that you explain this to them. They're going to have to agree to it when they click on the application themselves anyways. And then it's really easy. Basically, you have to also read a disclosure that this is not Affordable Care Act minimum essential benefits. You have to read this to them as well. If you're rewriting an existing Nat Gen policy, call me and talk to me about it first, because there's a specific way we need to do it. Okay.
I got it.
And then here's the health questions. It's kind of like not as bad as last year, thank God. Okay. Number one, I'm gonna, Mr. Jesse, there's 5 questions. 4 questions. I'm going to go ahead and just read them. They're yes or no. Bear with me. Here's question 1. Is any applicant now pregnant and expectant parent in the process of adopting, blah, 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 blah. If they answer yes, then they're going to get denied. So we have to make sure that they're no on all of these. And then within the last 5 years, has any applicant received medical or surgical treatment, blah, 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 blah. No. Within the last 5 years, has any applicant received medical or surgical, blah, 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 and then just kind of, answer the questions. And then they do require height and weight. 5'8" and 125, continue. And then, you build the policy documents, you ask the medical questions, and then you take payment. Well, because the indemnity plan will pay out, okay, so let's just say the person's in a horrible accident. They're admitted to the hospital. The plan benefits are triggered because the event happens, but God forbid they don't make it. The plan will still pay the benefit out, but they're going to have to pay it to a beneficiary. A lot of times you want to remind people, if they're choosing their children, that they have to be 18 to receive a payment from, insurance company. So I don't know why that's capitalized. I'm just going to write anything at this point. And then it's going to ask more questions because you have 2 different types of policies. So the short-term plan, we already went through the health questions. This is now for the foundation health questions.
Got it.
Okay, so this is the indemnity, which if you can see, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get through this. And this is why you need about 10 or 15 minutes in them to be in front of a computer. Okay.
So they're reading through this with you. They're logging on to the site and all that stuff, right?
No, you're actually reading this out loud to them over the phone.
Okay. But then, refresh my memory. I'm trying to make sure I'm trying to take it all in at once. Why are they in front of a computer then? If you're reading this, what are they doing? Are they typing the information in?
No, you're typing all the information.
Right. Okay.
Let's just say you read all this. You're going to continue. Right. And then you just take their payment. Okay. Right. You take their payment, you click continue, and what happens here is this system is going to automatically send the applicant.
There we go. Okay. An email.
An email, and it requires them to log in and review all of the health questions that you guys just discussed, and make sure the address is correct, the name is spelled properly, all the stuff. Once they agree to all that and they click submit, then you've actually sold the policy.
Makes sense.
The reason why you read these out loud is because you're facilitating the sale, number one. And also, if they see all of that, they might be like, I can't do this right now. And then you've lost the sale, they'll disappear. Right. So it's kind of mundane.
No, it makes sense now. I just couldn't, I was trying to figure out, I was trying to get the connection of why they were in front of a computer. So it makes sense now.
Yeah. So if you want, let me just see if I can go back to this and see what the actual confirmation email. Let's see. So if they do not sign the application, you're going to receive a email. You're going to get an email that says application pending signature. This is copied to you. They're going to have to click here, complete online application. This is where they're going to log in and sign. Okay.
Got it.
Let's see if there's a congratulations screen that basically says you've completed everything. Here we go. Congratulations on enrolling for short-term medical coverage. This is what they're going to get as soon as they click the submit to their application. Thank you, you've successfully submitted the application for short-term medical. This is their immediate member ID number, how to access their policy documents, mynatgen.com, enter your email address. It gives them instructions on how to log in, so you're off the hook for taking the responsibility of explaining all this to them.
Makes sense.
They have access to their information by logging in to complete their application. They have immediate access to their outline of coverages and temporary ID cards and all the stuff, and instructions on how to access it. So you don't have to do all this, you know, customer service stuff.
Right.
So basically, once they've gotten this congratulations screen, you're going to get copied on the application process. You're going to know when they have application pending signature, and you're going to know when they've submitted it.
Perfect.
Now, I always say, you know, you're going to receive the email. They get the email and say, okay, I'm going to hang tight on the phone with you real quick. I'm going to make sure that you get it submitted. In case you have any questions, I'm right here, but go ahead and log in and complete the application and click submit. And we're done when you receive a congratulations screen.
Okay.
You always make sure that it's complete to the end, because you don't want to spend 45 minutes with somebody and then they just say, oh, I can't do this right now. And then they disappear. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just kind of enforce the whole process. It's really not that scary. The worst part of it is reading those questions, the health questions, to be honest with you. So
yeah, but I've done that 1,000 times before, so that's not a big deal. Because any supplemental insurance, you're going to have that kind of stuff that we did. So I did before. So okay, cool.
So this is easy enough then, right?
That part, yeah, that's fantastic.
Okay, cool. Once you get through the modules, you'll know how to explain the plans. Like I said, I don't know if it was to you or to my other agents today. I think it was to Brian, actually. I'm actually going to be recording myself doing live sales. So it's going to be super easy.
That'll be great.
To see how it's done. I just, as of yesterday, was cleared for Florida because of all the stupid resident, non-resident stuff. So I'm back in the swing of things. I had to take care of some personal things today. But that's how to quote Nat Gen and Ameritas. And,
makes sense. And that's what you primarily quote, right?
I primarily do Nat Gen Ameritas, always Ameritas for vision dental, but Philly is a really good plan for me. I also do United Healthcare. United Healthcare are for people who want to pay a little bit more to have the name brand, but also are generally healthier because they're super strict on underwriting.
Got it.
UHC is the only carrier I've ever had a decline on because they really do their homework, but once you're covered, you're covered. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure, sure.
Did you have a chance to create your Optum ID and all that stuff yet, or are you gonna register?
For UHC?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's Nat Gen and Ameritas. What other questions can I help you with right now?
I guess just the lead stuff. TopBroker and leads is
so
the next big one.
TopBroker. Can you log into your TopBroker while we're doing this to make sure we have you situated?
Let's try that. I'm pretty sure I put that right there. Oh no, that's the health growth training. All right. Let me find it. All right, let's try to log in here. All right, I'm logged in.
Okay, left side of your dashboard, you're going to go to Lead Marketplace.
Lead Marketplace, got it.
And on the right-hand side, do you see your states and are they checked?
No, but I'll check them right now.
Check and then click Update.
Okay.
And then refresh your whole TopBroker.
And just refresh the whole TopBroker?
Yep. And if it kicked you out of Lead Marketplace, go back to Lead Marketplace real quick.
No, it's still in it. It says I've got like HST, UHC only. I've got 4 available.
Okay, so scroll down all the way down to agency leads.
Agency leads. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Wow. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Compassed Age, I don't know how many you've got. I only have these 3 states active. You have different states, but I have 1,700 I can click and dial, okay? We do need to get your 3CX connected to this if we haven't done that already, which is part of the training that you would have been able to log into with the Compass team.
Okay.
Also, fresh leads, you can collect up to 40 of those a day for free.
Wow. Okay.
So click on fresh leads purchase real quick and just take a look and see what we got, because here's the most important thing. Immediately, you've got the lead right there.
I see one. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you need to know. Call them up, email them, do whatever you're going to do, but unless you disposition the lead, which on the right-hand side, next action item, it's in yellow. It's a
Got it.
okay. You're going to click that, and you're going to click either uncontacted, contacted, dead, whatever. If you do not create a status for this lead, it disappears. It's not your
Okay.
lead anymore.
Okay.
That's the most important thing you need to know. Unless you're actually going to call it, don't do it right now, but I just
Right.
want you to know that, okay?
That's
But
good.
you can collect up to 40 of these a day. So just kind of go back and let me show you the other leads. HSTH leads, we got to get your 3CX connected. You can click to dial. There's like 72,000 you can tap into right there.
Yeah.
But for whatever, states you've got in there, I don't know, I got about 700 that I can purchase, in general, but there's 40 a day that you can take.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's great.
So there you are with those leads. I'm working
That's
on
awesome.
other lead sources for us that are outside of depending on the team, to kind of go outside the box and make sure that we have our own self-sustaining, business set up.
Perfect.
But for now, here you go.
That's great. That's fantastic. So what do you do when you get a lead? I mean, are you just straight calling every lead right off the bat, or are you emailing anybody ahead of time, texting? I've heard different things on different videos and trainings, and so I want to make sure I'm following the system that you've found successful.
So what I do is 3 things. I call them. If they don't answer, I don't really leave voicemails because nobody checks voicemails and it's a waste of time. It frustrates me. Number 2, I will send them a really quick text, say, I got your request for health insurance. Are you still looking? Just to kind of start the conversation. Do you even need it anymore? You know what I mean? If they say, yes, I'm still looking for quotes. Do you still need a quote? Then you continue the conversation. Then if like the one that I clicked on didn't have an email, I will email them. Just a very like 1 or 2 sentence email, not some, hey, super long introduction to where they're like cross-eyed, not sure what they're reading. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's super
right.
conversational. And then I just follow up. You know what I mean? Put every single lead you've got on a spreadsheet outside of the system if you really feel like doing that, because you're able to do mass emails. And once you get more familiar with how to quote and make a couple sales, I'll train you on a couple other,
Sure.
email marketing things. I use LionDesk, and it's very, very user friendly. It's mainly set up for realtors. I was a realtor before, so I know about it, but it's a really good system.
Okay.
So we'll go there, but I would keep track of your leads outside of the system as well. If you're willing to take that extra step or 2, it'll make a lot of sense later.
Yep. Absolutely. And what do you put on that spreadsheet when you do like all their contact info and everything?
Name, phone number, email.
Name, phone number, email.
And then state if you kind of want to differentiate, or any kind of note that you want to kind of add to your system. Everybody kind of systemizes their leads and CRMs differently, but at least name, phone number, email, and state so you can know who's who.
Got it. Okay.
Because you really want to have that conversation with them anyways, even though you might have their height and weight or whatever, you just want to verify it because you're still qualifying them.
Got it. Cool. Good. Good. So that shows me how to get into leads. I've got my state, so I'll make sure that I've got the different. I'll go through the training modules and get all that stuff linked up that you said, and then also get through the Nat Gen, the Ameritas, and the UHC stuff. Get that logged in. Make sure we're all good on that. Do you use any of the email templates, text templates that are over here on the left?
I mean, the system has so many things. I want you to just kind of look at them and decide what sounds like your language. But yes, it works really well. It's a quick click. But I also, like I said, I keep track of all my clients outside of the systems. This is, you know what I mean? This is
for your business.
Yeah, exactly. And this is your database. For you to really be in business, you have to have a database.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, no problem at all. Cool.
Awesome.
All right. So based on those numbers that of leads, what you can get, like you said, was it 40 a day?
40 a day. Mm-hmm.
Total between all of them, or just
those are the fresh leads that you can claim. So can you still see my screen?
Let me see. I was looking at my screen. So hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at your screen. Yep.
Okay, compassed age available to me based on my 3 states are 1,711. I can dial up to 20 of those a day.
Okay.
Next line, fresh leads. I can claim up to 40 of those a day. You purchase, they're $0. You just get them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then beyond that, so what are we at? 60 leads I can take?
That's 60. And then you have the HST leads.
I can do 50 more of those.
Yep. And how old are those? Because those could be all over the board as far as the age.
To be honest, I can't answer that. I have no idea, but the fresh leads are usually about 30 days or less, and they've requested information.
That's
so,
fair. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Exciting. Okay. So, you make 100, $150 a day. Now, are you calling them more than once in a day, or are you just calling, texting, emailing if possible, and then following up a day later, a couple days later? How are you doing that?
So when I reach out to these fresh leads immediately, like I said, I do the 3-touch. So I will call them. I don't leave voicemails.
Right.
I will text them to start a conversation, and then I'll send them another email, like an email to say, hey, I received your request for a health insurance quote. Are you still looking, or, some kind of question to trigger a response, like an easy yes or no, or something that you can engage them. It's not a, hey, send me your zip
short
code.
and sweet, right?
Yeah.
Just get them to respond. Yep.
Yes. Start the conversation, and then do your magic after that once you get them on the phone.
Right. And then do you ever call them or follow up with those leads again? I mean, is that like something you check in the next day or a couple of days later, or how do you do that normally?
Yes, if I'm calling in the morning, I will usually call them again in the afternoon if I don't reach them, like no more than twice a day, because then you start to become that telemarketer that they ignore.
Or just a stalker in general.
Yes, exactly. So, it's a numbers game, to be honest with you. These are pretty good leads. They're, it's not meant for you to be dependent on these leads to like make your fortune with the fresh leads. But this is definitely something to keep you rolling, to keep you going. And I'm going to teach you guys how to be dependent outside of all this. So
that's good.
I found a really great lead source with lists that are super inexpensive. And it's quite honestly just raw data. And I call them up and have, I start the conversation cold, and it has worked out really well for me because of
Is that what you did on that video that you recorded on you
yep.
cold calling those? That's what that
cold
was?
Calling. Yep. And it works.
That's good. Okay. Good deal. So you're making 100, to $200 a day if you call them more than once. How many quotes do you normally I know that these are all guesses to some extent, but I'm a numbers guy. I've got to process that way. So you make 200,000 a day. How many quotes do you normally anticipate getting out of that?
Dials are one thing, but conversations are really what you're looking for. If you can send out 5 quotes a day, 5 quotes a day should be your metric, because that'll turn into your, 2, 3, 4 sales a week to start off with. But once you start to sharpen your skills, you're going to find an easier way to convert and to close the deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
The idea is really to have 5 quote consultations a day.
And that'll turn into 2 to 4 sales a week, you think?
Well, if you do 5 quotes consultations a day, that'll probably be 1 to 2 sales a day.
Okay.
But starting out,
it takes longer.
Yeah.
I get that. I totally get that. So let's say somebody were to, just come in and do, a little above average as far as success, get 3 of these sales a week. What are we looking at again, commission wise, the advance on that? I'm just trying to process in my head.
So let's go back to this and do some math. So where are we at here? What was the amount? I don't know if it'll say. I think it was 338 or something.
So. Yeah, 338.
So the math equation that I always use is super easy. Okay, so let's just say it's 500. We added a dental and a little accident policy, and they've got everything they need, and it's 2 people on a policy, and that's pretty average, right?
Right.
So $500 per month. And you're at 15%, right? So times 0.15 is $75 times your 6-month advance, right? So you're going to make $450 immediately from selling that one policy.
Got it.
That's only for the first 6 months. So month 7,
and then you get 8, the 9, back 10, end,
11, and 12, you're going to get 6 more payments of that $75.
Right.
So if we multiply that by 2 for selling that one policy, you're going to make $900. Now let's just say it's a 2-year renewable term and they renew with you. That's what you're making on selling one policy over 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good. I'm just trying to process
really generic math equation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a good basic average to kind of, it's going to fluctuate depending on the premiums and everything like that. But for the most part, that's how it goes. And then you're usually paid no later than 7 to 10 days later with Nat Gen. So they pay really quickly.
Okay. And that's good. All right. All right. Well, that gives me like probably more than I can process, but it's good. I'm gonna jump in and make sure we get all that stuff up and running. My goal is to be like full on dialing by the first, making the calls, getting it going. So can't imagine that will be much of an issue. So I'm gonna get everything taken care of in the next day or so and be ready to go.
Okay, perfect. Remind me of your states again. I have it written down. I have it in my.
I've got Colorado, but we know that we're not doing anything there. So then I've got Florida and Texas.
Okay, perfect. That's really good. I'm gonna get those modules completed. Yeah. Get through the United Healthcare, which I'm releasing this week because I wanted everybody to kind of engage in the Nat Gen and not be overwhelmed with all these extra modules you got to do. But if you can get through the training on those, the best thing we're going to do is get you on the dialer and just start making mistakes. Go make mistakes, have question marks, get through like, oh my God, I don't know what to say to this. Call me up 55 times. It's totally good. That's why I'm here. And then we'll work out the kinks, situate the punctuation on what you're doing here. And then the best way to learn is just get there and skin your knee. Like my manager, BJ, he's like, just get in there and make mistakes and skin your knee and get up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, and I don't expect that from you. You're very, very advanced compared to a lot of the agents I have because you're already used to this type of sales. So I don't foresee that being an issue. You're going to totally.
It feels like almost like riding a bike as far as like the presentation elements of it, the quoting, the quoting is different. I've never used the system, but as far as like what the product is, how to sell it, not being afraid of the application questions that you were talking about and just being pretty assumptive with it. I can't imagine that's going to be much of an issue. It's just going to be a little bit clunky trying to get through, the other stuff, the CRM stuff and the TopBroker and all that. But that I can pull that together pretty quick. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy, to be honest with you. One of the things that I did that actually totally changed the game for me, and I kind of stumbled upon this by accident because I was trying to call customer service for Nat Gen to ask them a question as a broker, and they actually connected me to a sales rep. And I'm like, well, I might as well let them quote me and just see how they present. And it totally gave me a whole different perspective. And I'm like, oh, that was really easy. So you want to call them up and just pretend you're a client and see how they present. There's no harm, no foul.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Just see what happens. It's not going to be the end of the world.
No, I understand. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for taking a lot longer than 15 minutes with me.
No worries. I'm here for you. Let me know what questions you have and let me know how I can help. Okay.
Sounds good. And I think it looks like you're recording this. Are you recording this thing? Can you send me a copy of that?
I sure will. I'm going to upload it first to YouTube link so it's easier because I can't email you a whole file.
I understand.
So let me do that. And if I forget,
that'll be awesome because I'll probably watch it like 3 times. And then my goal is me to be doing the selling and the quoting and the selling and all the connection with the actual applicant. And then Christy's going to take care of the back end stuff for me. And so she's going to see a lot of this stuff that we'll need. So.
Okay, cool. And if she has questions for me, have her reach out and we can work through all the customer service stuff together. No problem at all.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Hannah. Have a great night.
You're welcome. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.